Path of Exile 2, The Third Edict. It's pretty cool RPG game, but there's a bunch of settings that you definitely want to change for better gameplay experience and more fun. Also in this patch there's a bunch of changes to passive skill tree sets. And I will cover this in this video also. How to allocate 2 weapon sets and how to use them. On mouse and keyboard and on controller, since I play on both. Graphic settings. First one can be really important. If you're getting any troubles with game crashing out and stuff like that, try to change Vulkan to DirectX, and you can even try DirectX 11 or 12. Just play with this setting and you may experience a lot less crashes. I switched to Vulkan and my game running great, at least I hope so. In full screen mode game probably runs better, but I use window at full screen for faster alt tabbing. Then vertical synchronization is optional. I don't like this setting because it will increase your input timing. Basically when you press right, the character will move right slightly after your command. Upscale mode there is different, but you can play with this and find what's better for you. Scene brightness, by the way, is pretty nice, so a lot of areas is pretty dark and I like to change it, so mine is 1.8. A lot of players actually ask me why your game looks so bright and good. Maybe that's because I'm using 0.8 on UI brightness and 1.8 on scene brightness. Again, it depends on your monitor settings, so maybe you don't need it. Try to play with it. UI is basically your UI, so this stuff can be ultra brighted, but 0.8 works for me. Then we're not going through the graphic settings, you can drop what you like. NVIDIA Reflex is probably good if you got the NVIDIA card, but I'm not running it right now and everything looks fine. And I locked my FPS. Basically I like when my frame per second stable like this. Because if we remove cap, it will spike a lot. I mean, so try to find best setting for you. I'm recording and streaming at the same time, so I like just to cap it at 90, even though my monitor is able to output a lot more. If you're having troubles to keep frame rate, dynamic cooling can help you. It will try to keep you stable FPS. It's pretty nice. Mode, I can't demonstrate it, but again, if you're having troubles, if you think your game is lagging, try to turn this on. It will trash your image in the fights, but again, when everything is exploding, maybe you won't even notice. Engine multi-threading is on for me right now. It's highly recommended not to disable this option. Can't comment. I just kept it on. Now, beta settings. General. In general, basically what you need is item filters. It's super advised to use item filters. For example, let me show you how games looks with non-item filter. Maybe it looks exactly like this for you. So we defeated 2 guys and there's a bunch of gold. And if I see gold on the ground, I will definitely go and pick this up. But honestly, it's not a big deal to lose 20 gold. Therefore, I'm using loot filters that hide small gold pouches. It not blocks me to pick this up, so I can run around and pick gold from monsters anyway, but I'm not backtracking and my screen is a lot more cleaner. Also, it helps to find valuable currency, because normally Val Orb and Chaos Orb and Exalted Orb won't be highlighted, but this will highlight everything. If you want to use loot filters, you can basically find them online pretty easily. You can join my Discord, and I post leveling filters for every class. I post endgame filters for classes I play when I make them, and I like strict and also very clear gameplay style filters. So no insanely high saturated colors, just these little beams on valuable stuff and nice good colors. I like the game vibes. I don't want to break them with rainbow diarrhea on the screen when you defeat elites. And definitely if you're using loot filters, you can just use hide filtered ground items. If anything is filtered out by your filter, it will just disappear from the screen, so it frees up your CPU, GPU, basically rendering and stuff like that. Key pickup can be used, but it's not really needed. Auto equip, definitely turn this off. You want to actually see what you equip and what you pick up. You don't need to auto pick up. Then this settings, default item allocation. It's basically party settings, so if you're playing with a friends that you don't like, just go for permanent allocation. When item drops, it will be always allocated for you, for example, or for your friend, but you won't fight for these items. Short allocation will have short amount of time of allocation, then everyone can pick this item up, but it's kinda half a minute, so it's not good. And I'm using free for all because when I'm playing with my friends, no one cares who picks up what. Default level down scaling. So again, if you're playing with friends, if it's enabled, high level character will be downgraded in power, but your lower level characters will get some experience. with no experience penalty. However, most of the time when we are in a party, we are same level or we are helping each other to defeat bosses, therefore I used it as disabled, so defeating bosses is a lot faster because your character won't be downgraded. Now, this is like super important settings. If you're new to the game, I recommend you to keep this on for a little bit. It will prevent you to equip a bunch of stuff that will disable skills. However, I really advise you to not turn this on. Basically, every skill in the game will have some requirements, for example, strength and dexterity for my galvanic shards. But also, every support gem you drop inside will require you extra strength and dexterity on total. That's support gem capacity over here, so I got high strength, I can equip 21 support gems of red color. Red is strength, dexterity is green. And basically, if I don't have enough dexterity for these support gems, without, for example, helmet that gives me 5 dexterity, then when I unequip this helmet, my skill will be disabled. This should prevent these situations, but actually it's better to have disabled skills, therefore you will understand how game works a lot faster. This is super important. I recommend to turn it off always. It's very important. So that's how it works. We will turn this on, and let's say we get a skill Hand of Chayola. Hand of Chayola can have inserted curses and marks. And previously there were like loads of support gems that is applicable to marks and curses, but not applicable to Hand of Chayola. It looks like they actually fixed this, so probably everything is fine. But basically there is a bunch of support gems that can be applicable, for example, only for elemental weakness and not applicable for Hand of Chayola. This will give you ability to basically craft these gems and insert inside. So turn it off. Interface option. Turn on clock so you know how much time you're sitting in a game. It's definitely important. And stay hydrated. And hit that like button on the video. But here we are. Quest tracking. While it's kinda important for you, maybe in a campaign, if you know what you're doing, just turn it off. Because honestly, that's how my screen looks in an end game. And I can't even read what's going on over here on the screen. So it's easy to turn it off. And you can actually track your quests from the map. You can press correct button and see all quests that's going on and check if anything is not completed. Then we got gamepad options. They are not presented on PC, and everyone who's asking how I got this HUD, yeah, it's basically gamepad HUD and it works only on gamepad right now. And there's no like good support for mouse and keyboard, and that's why you may see like, oh, he's using mouse, but he got this interface. Yeah, I can use mouse and options, but not in game menu. I can't like click skills, I can't do anything. Advanced info and inspect mode is really good. I don't know if it's on mouse, but if you're playing on controller, basically if you go into inspect mode, which is this mode, so you check an item. If it's on, you will see all tiers, suffixes, prefixes, basically a lot more information. It's better to know this information. Then we get map. Definitely show corner map, you want to see it. You can press button and play with map on the middle of the screen, but come on, the game is so good, I don't want it. However, sometimes you just need this map, and to make this map more visible and basically better, then definitely you want to use these settings. Landscape transparency should be at minimum, because when it's at maximum, map will be just muddy with a lot of extra details that is not needed, and transparency should be at maximum or around it. Basically, it makes it not transparent, so you see the map. It's transparent anyway. And map zoom, it's up to your preference. You can play like this, but again, it's weird. Show ally names, up to you, doesn't matter. Point of interest names, kinda good, because it will show what is on the map, so you know where you're going, if you're looking for particular quest or item, or maybe NPC. Then for items, always show sockets, so you're not selling good items that you otherwise should reforge for socket currency. Show full descriptions, up to you, but it's better to see like what's the item on the ground. And hide remove only tabs is kinda good settings, because if you go into your stash tab, you will see all your stash tabs. If you remove this option, after league ends, you will have loads of remove only tabs from your previous season, and just going through them takes loads of time. So if you're not in the mood to actually filter your inventory, just hide it and play leaks. Don't play standard. Or if you're missing your items from the standard, then definitely turn it off and play standard with your items from your league. And currency QoI on stock boxes is really good. It gives you ability to quickly wild essence monsters, to quickly enchant stock boxes with your currency, stuff like that. Then gameplay. Also very important, show life mana levels. You just want to keep it on if you need additional info on exact numbers of your life mana, shield, spirit, and you want to turn off hide life mana reservation. You don't need it. You will just see exactly how much life you got if you got some of it reserved. It's just weird settings. It's useful mostly for reservation classes like Infernalist. So if you're playing Infernalist, definitely play with this setting and find out how you like your interface more. Then buffs for flasks isn't like not important, but I like to have all icons of every possible thing that affects my character, so I can like hover mouse and check what it's doing. If I don't know, helps learn a game. This kind of helps to understand if your heralds are on or off. So maybe something broke and you're not noticing it, but this basically helps. And this is super important, show mini life bar above you. I played Season 1 without it, it was great, but honestly there's so many monsters right now, you just don't have time to watch at your life and mana levels at the bottom of the screen, therefore having it above your character is very good. Having this above NPCs, it's like up to you. I don't like loads of life bars on my screen, so you can place it on enemies only, and previously it showed life bars above enemies. I don't know why it's not showing right now. Or you can have allies only, so you see life bars of your allies basically. It's also pretty nice setting sometime, but what is really important is show monster resistance icons. So there's the icons above monster, it shows resistances. Right now this monster got okay-ish resistance to fire, like small resistance, and he got vulnerability to cold damage. So if you fight him with cold damage, you will deal like more damage. It's very good setting. Keep sprinting while moving. It's a new setting. If you hold sprint, if you basically do a roll and hold roll button, you will start sprinting. With this setting, you can actually release a button, don't hold it, and just run forward or where you want, and you will be sprinting forever, or until you will get caught by monsters. Attack in place, key stops moves. It just up to you, based on your preference how you like to control a character, it doesn't matter. I like always highlight, so I see every chest everywhere where I need. Then we got cursor options, it's up to you. If you like to see how people spam some brain rot memes in chat, then just show global chat. If you like to trade in a chat and not wear in-game trading, then definitely show trade chat, but I recommend you watching my video on the trading. And showing timestamps in chat is really viable, because when you got whispered, you will see when you whispered basically. Is it was long ago or not. Sound settings, not really important. Input settings, we won't go over them, so technically in options that's it. Now let's talk about our weapon sets, because that's super big and gives you loads of variety in your build. That's how to easily demonstrate it. Basically I will refund this point right now, and when you're allocating your points you actually can select which weapon set you will use. There's weapon set 1 and weapon set 2. Previously, these sets referred to different weapons, and you was basically forced to use two different crossbows, for example, if you want to use two different sets. Most common use was to use some wand in second set and increase area of courses and stuff like that. Basically increasing area of effect with weapon set 2. But right now there's new setting and it's completely brutal. So if you're playing on controller, right now we will cover controller and then mouse and keyboard. It works on both. There's a button on share weapon set. It's actually called share weapon set. So right now as you can see I got my crossbow and weapon set 2. But if I highlight my crossbow, basically your main weapon, and use button and hold it, we will share weapon set. Right now this crossbow shown in weapon set 2. So I'm using one crossbow with two weapon sets. And previously idea of having second crossbow was really important, because it gave you ability to switch between weapon sets instantly and shoot really like powerful rounds. For example, this charged shot. I used it with second weapon set and second crossbow actually. Right now I don't need second crossbow, so I dropped it over here. No, actually over here. That's my crossbow that I used to beat campaign. And basically right now we can switch between shooting our basic galvanic shards and starting to charge our weapon without any delay. That's just crazy. So you don't need a second crossbow, you don't need second weapon, you can use 2 different weapon sets. And it gives us nice build variety, not only limited by just more powerful curses. Basically, it's important to know that you can't use weapon set points on javel nodes over here and on big nodes like glancing blows. So you can't use weapon sets here, but you can use them on attribute points, you can use them on any clusters. We will take this heavy ammunition for example. So my plasma blast right now have 40k damage, but if I allocate my weapon set 2 to this point, it will have plus 4k damage, basically plus 10%. But when I'm not using it, I can allocate mana recovery flasks to weapon set 1, therefore I will run around and get more mana recovery from flasks. Definitely I'm not doing it, it's just for explanation, but how it works. Basically, you not only need to share weapon set, but also you need to allocate skills. And previously there was menu over here, so if you're playing on a controller, you got a bunch of problems to allocate weapon sets right now, because UI changed a little bit. However, it's super easy. What you need to do, you want to go into set skill bind menu, and over here from this menu, you want to go to advanced information, right from this menu, only from this menu right now. You go into advanced information, and in this menu, on advanced information on galvanic shards, you can go into skill options, so that's where it is. And now you can choose where to use the skill. So for example, galvanic shards will be only with weapon set number 1, and plasma blast will be set to weapon set number 2. You want to do it for all skills of course, and that's basically how it works. If you finished all campaign, you should have 24 weapon set passive points, therefore you can use 24 points completely differently. So basically you may use ice skills and have some ice glaciation build up as weapon set 2 and set ice skills to weapon set 2 and set lightning skills to weapon set 1 and have more electrocute and shock build up and basically play completely normally with all skills at maximum power. Okay, so I promised to show you how to do it on mouse and keyboard. Basically, it's even easier than on controller, you don't need to mess around with a bunch of stuff. What you will see is basically 2 weapon sets over here, and what you want to do is to actually hover over weapon set and just right click it. You will show lock to all weapon sets. So you can lock, unlock. If it's locked, this lock. Then basically your crossbow shard between 2 weapon sets. No, it's not. Basically, when you click weapon set 2, you need to see shadow of your main weapon. That's it. Then it's working. Then you go into your skills, and to allocate skills to different weapon sets, you just need to press on this arrow over here, and you will see it over here at the bottom. So weapon set 1 or 2. Make sure your buffs on both weapon sets are on. It's not important. Again, you can actually allocate it however you like, but I like to keep my buffs on both weapon sets, while some of skills use different weapon sets for different purposes. It was super easy. This setting alone gives your characters insane amount of power and insane amount of DPS. That's basically one of the reasons why most of patch notes can be seen as nerfs. Characters got buffed a lot, and it's a lot easier to play the game right now. And actually it's a lot easier if you come to Eng, check your earnings tab, and get a bunch of exalted orbs. That's pretty nice to start a day with 40 exalted orbs in a pocket. So just go and watch my trading video right now.